we have the Blunt Trunk Eye. Now we can go to the Hunter's Nightmare if we're feeling completely out of our gourd. You know, there isn't that big a penalty for going there right away. It's just that, well, it assumes you have much better weapons and a much higher level than you actually do. So, yeah. That part will suck. On the other hand, you can get some kind of decent blood gems from there, if you're willing to farm some of the hunters. So maybe that's a good thing? I don't know. I feel like mostly I would rather just fight the Chalice Dungeon guys for them. Because from memory, the Hunter's Nightmare ones aren't immediately that good. And I'm looking in the complete wrong spot. Blood Gem Fortification. Or repair weapon first. We have been giving it a beating. That fortify weapon? I guess it is. Okay. Let's raise that axe up a bit. Because we're going to need it eventually. Blood Gem Fortification. Now, problem with this is, as long as I got that there, these are actually pretty useless. To the point where I shouldn't even have them on. Because they're really adding nothing. And there might be better ones like this. Fizz Up at full HP isn't a bad thing to have on a level 4 build. As long as it's not conflicting in a bad way with some other stuff. Because there's really no penalty for it. Now... there is something I can do here, and that is... use this. And get the gold blood gem, and we can... give the doll the hairpin and get the other one as well.
Welcome. What is... what?
Yes, good, good, good. Yep, tear stone. Mercilessly punch the tear stone. And although they're not really very strong, considering I've got absolutely nothing else to put in my fire cleaver at the moment, they will do. So, attack versus beasts up, or HP continues to recover. I think in this case actually boost rally potential. And I'll go, yeah, HP continues to recover as well, because the fire one has it as well. So it's not terrible, it's just probably not going to help that much. But, you know, I'll be able to recover from very minor hits now, without having any ado. Let's get our 20 knives back. And a bunch of blood, why not? Sweet blood. Alright, we're pretty close to mid-game stuff. I wonder if I should maybe poke around in the Chalice Dungeon. Because if I could defeat the Watchdog of the Old Lords, then I could get a better fire weapon. But, if I continue my travels elsewhere, I'll be able to get closer to getting chunks for my weapon. As well as a couple of good gems from the main game. Although, not very many. Unless I go to the Hunter's Nightmare. Ooh, decisions, decisions. I think I'm going to... I'll do most of the Chalice stuff off screen, so we won't see that. Let us instead, very briefly, go visit the Hunter's Nightmare. I suspect that this will be an incredibly terrible idea, but we can get a free... well, firstly, we can get the lantern open, which is always nice, and we can get an easy twin blood shard, I think. Which is also nice. The Hunter's Nightmare won't get significantly easy. Like, there isn't really going to be a good time to do the Hunter's Nightmare and expect it to get significantly easier, because it won't. I'm going to be level 4 for the rest of the game, so there's really no good time to do it.
Cursed fiends, their children too.
Imagine if you bought the game and you didn't actually know this was the way the end of the DLC, but then it just happened. And you'd be like, what the hell is this thing? Oh my god. I don't suppose there's many people like that, but the idea of it still amuses me. What I should actually be doing is going to the Nightmare Frontier, but there's so many decisions to make. Well, I'm here in the Hunter's Nightmare, and I tried fighting the first enemy of this area several times after picking up the 2 items that are just out here, but it was a complete farce, an utter embarrassment, because I didn't kill him even once. And the reason why is because the area you fight him in here is so horrible that the camera gets stuck behind the gate constantly while you fight him. You could see it happen there just briefly. That, and he does tend to kill quite easily. And not always react to gunshots the way you might expect him to. Why not? Also, if he hits you with that jump attack, you're just dead. Don't even bother trying to get up. See, that is what I hate. Obviously, I could open the gate, I guess, and come back here, and that wouldn't be such a problem, but my god, is it a huge issue when you're trying to fight him just at the start of this area. Also, that gun. Like, everything about this is a problem. Every now and then I do get a good visceral on it, but look how much piddling damage it does. Chaining visceral would be the best way to defeat him, but eventually it's gonna fudge up for some reason. I guess I have no shame in telling you that took me at least like 9 attempts. So he's been the biggest boss of this game so far, and he was not even remotely worth it. I was hoping he might drop a blood gem, but I guess that's just not on the cards right now. So yeah, this place is too much for me. Simple as that. Let us go to greener pastures, as it were. My vote is the Nightmare Frontier. Either that or just straight up through the forest. Probably would be good to go through the forest a little. Because we would get at least 1 blood chunk and access to some useful areas. And I can pick up the tonsil stone on the way by talking to the hut lady spot through the woods. Going to Canehurst is the only way to really get some good blood chunks going, but that's also one of the hardest ways to get anything done. And you can forget Martyr Ligarius. I struggled so hard against him. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it yet. I need to take my other character over there and actually get some practice in. Still, we should be able to pick up some good stuff through the forest here. Yeah, visceral attacks are definitely not going to be one-hit kills from now on. We're going to get to the point where it's going to take several viscerals to kill any enemy. Nope. Why is that dog's head on fire, specifically? There we go. Let's try and get rid of this oil chucker. And de-oil ourselves before messing around with the fire. I guess they're not going to let me. Oh wait, no, there it went. Please walk in the fire. Ah well. Can't have it everything. Twin blood. Shards. I should really do a chalice dungeon, but like I said, I don't want to do the whole thing on camera. Might do some bosses though. Couple of the unique ones at the very least. There are a few interesting chalice dungeon bosses to speak of. Beast blood pellet. Don't mind if I do. Now, where to go and what to do when I get there. Not everything in this village is particularly worth collecting. And the effort to go to all the different locations and collect them all can sometimes be a bit wearisome. Particularly the middle of the village where there's the big trap hole is and all the enemies. There's nothing that good actually there. Anyway, speak with totally not Patches. There we go. And you little bastard. Let me get the armor. That's all I want. Like, even crows with a fire weapon take 2 hits now. This is the sort of thing that'll happen when you go to the forest. Things will suddenly not be going your way. Well, that isn't too bad. Yeah, let's see if I can deal with this kidnapper without too much effort. Not normally a very threatening enemy, but I'm pretty certain he could smash my face in at this point. My charged R2 is actually doing more damage than my visceral attack. Still, visceral attack is a visceral attack. It does damage, and it does throw them around. Yeah, Can I get you to join me up here? Yep. Oh, that was close. I thought the extended cleaver might be a bit more useful there, but... Let's get out the good old throwing knives. Make some friends. Oh. Adjust! Adjust! Okay, this shouldn't be too bad now. Just throw a few of these around. Out of my way. You are not an interesting person. Dupe. Dupe. And a bit of dupe. Ding! Shortcut. To a place I've never been. Still, it'll be useful if I manage to screw up this part. For sure. Dupe. Boom. Full body shot. I feel like he had an item and has fallen out of the world though. Damn it. Got Mr. Rifleman's attention without actually achieving anything. Still keeping it under control. It's very tempting to just try and zigzag out and outdo the cannon, but I guess we'll play this safely. Oh! I dodged back into a bullet. That's a neat skill. Oh, caught on terrain. Bad touch. Bad touch. You know what? Screw you. You're not that impressive. And there isn't anything in these huts that I want that badly. Now let's prioritize getting to the shortcut rather than cleaning out the windmill. Because that means our only enemy is one snake man, if I play my cards right. Of course there's always this guy, but nobody says I have to pay any attention to him. I should be able to just sneak around him. Yep. There we go. Now let's just... This is very cheap, but nobody wants to be the person who died right before the shortcut, so let's do it. It's a good time all around. Hey, Valthor. Antidotes. Doorway. Let's quickly join the league, shall we? Rune slot. Alright. There's actually crows out there. I don't want to fight them. Anyway, that was a pretty good round. I'm going to put a break in the video and I'll come back later. So, thanks for watching, and bye for now.